absolutely. So my name is Joe Scott. I'm actually brand new to politics. Before I decided to run for Supervisor of Elections, I never actually ran for office before. So this has been quite an adventure. And the first question people always ask me is, what made you decide to jump in and run this time?
Especially for this particular office. There's a whole lot
Yeah,
of things you
right.
could have ran for. So something had to draw you to become the supervisor of election. Tell us about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the case. So after the 2018 elections, when it was clear that we would have an opportunity to choose a new supervisor of elections here in Broward County, did some deep thought about what exactly is required to do that job successfully. What kind of competencies, what kind of background would somebody need to actually be successful as a supervisor of elections? And it occurred to me that when you see all the different problems and issues that supervisors of elections have to deal with, it's almost always technology-related problems. Either they're having trouble maintaining the equipment, or they're having trouble implementing a new solution that they want to put in for the upcoming election, or they're having problems with security around the systems. And these are all things that I happen to have a great deal of expertise in my past work experience, and I thought to myself that we really need somebody who's really tech savvy, who really understands these systems that they would have to deal with in order to be able to get it right the first time.
Okay, I don't want to interrupt you. So you said something that I found really interesting. You said that it's the problem of the SOE's office. So do you believe the issues with the technology and, having to end up doing recounts and all that, do you believe that squarely falls on the person that has the title supervisor of election? Is that all on them?
No, absolutely not, because there's actually a lot, there's a lot more that goes into it besides just sort of being able to implement the solutions. But what I'm saying is that there's often problems that come up, and not so much having to do recounts. I mean, having to do a recount is happens because the parties are very evenly split here in Florida. So there's an even split between Republicans and Democrats, and that's why you have to end up doing a recount. But then the question becomes, do you have the right systems in place? Do you have the right structure in place to be able to execute that mission and get it done in the right amount of time? And it's really not just all about implementing the right technology. It also has to do with having the right leadership skills too. So what I always like to say is, I'm not asking people to vote for me just because I'm a tech geek. I also have 20 years of serious leadership position, leading teams under very serious and stressful circumstances. And that's why I think it's sort of a combination of those two things. You need to understand the technology that you're working with, but you also need to understand people and how to lead a team, how to lead a group of people to accomplish a difficult mission. And when you bring those two things together, you know that you'll just have a really good outcome when it comes time to do something like a recount.